The next topic of the workshop is VLOOKUP, which stands for vertical lookup. We understand this is one of the most important options for every participant who would be attending this workshop. And this is one of the options which is very essential for everybody who would be using Microsoft Excel in their work. Scrolling down, we have the employee code, the name, the region, the department, the salary. Using VLOOKUP, we have a drop down. Once we select any employee code from the drop down, depending on the employee code which is selected, the name, the region, the department and the salary are visible on the screen. For example, if we select employee code 92, we get Payal Singhani from the East Marketing. Going back to the data, that is exactly what we have. We have also validated this particular cell, which means you cannot write any value which is not present in the sheet. So we have combined two options. We have combined validation with VLOOKUP. It will only allow you to exit once you have entered a correct value, and if you press the escape button, it would return the previous correct value back to the screen. For example, I am pressing escape on the keyboard. We get 92 because 92 was the last value which we selected from the drop down, which was a correct value. For example, if we have thousands of rows in this data, it would be very uncomfortable to have the VLOOKUP on the same sheet. In the next example, what we will do is, the data will remain in this particular sheet. We will move this form to a separate sheet. For example, we have the employee code over here and the same drop down, but this time from this drop down, when you select 92, you get Payal Marketing in East. So the data is in a separate sheet and we are running the VLOOKUP in a separate sheet. One of the major applications of VLOOKUP is to consolidate data from multiple sheets in a single sheet. For example, in this VLOOKUP sheet, we have the employee code, the first name, last name, department, the region, the branch, hire date and salary. In the VLOOKUP exe file, as we scroll on the top, we have the employee code. We have quantity A and B, sales for product A, sales for product B. As you scroll below, again you have the employee code, you have quantity C and D, sales of product C and sales of product D. As we scroll to the bottom of the screen, we have the employee code, the first name, the salary and the department. This information we are retrieving from the VLOOKUP sheet, and the following information we are retrieving from the current sheet. For example, the employee code, we have a drop down over here. We have a drop down. For example, if I select 92, where we understand 92 is for Payal Singhani. As I select 92 over here, I get Payal, I get the current salary. If I want to counter check the current salary, which is 17,325, I will have to go back to the VLOOKUP sheet over here. I scroll to the bottom where I see exactly Payal, the salary 17,325. I go back to the VLOOKUP exe file. So in the marketing department, just to check it back, is from the marketing department, and the quantity of A and B is 733. As I scroll to the top of the screen, 92, the quantity is 733. For example, if I make the quantity 900, once I have modified this number to 900, which means accordingly the data below should also be updated. As I scroll below, the data has been updated. The same way, we are reading data for product A, for product B, quantity C and D, sales for C and sales for D. The next topic is VLOOKUP with approximation. For example, if you write the salary of an employee, depending on the salary, the tax should be calculated accordingly. Depending on the salary, the tax should be calculated on the basis of the above table. For example, a salary of 13,560 would be taxed 5.60 and a salary of 36,765 would be calculated as 8.30%. This particular data is taken as the reference point. This is an example for VLOOKUP using approximations. The next topic of the workshop is nested VLOOKUP. Nested VLOOKUP is when we require two VLOOKUP formulas to derive to a particular value. For example, Given the state, we need to find the region. The state is given in the F2 cell and we have all the states in the J column. So given the state, we need to find the region. For example, let's take Hawaii. Hawaii state comes under the region PC. So next to Hawaii, we have PC. Second question is that we need to calculate the tax rate. The tax rate needs to be calculated on the basis of the number of dependents. For example, under PC, if you have 4 dependents, which we can see the data over here, if you have 4 dependents under PC, you would be calculated 0.58% tax, whereas if you only have 1 dependent, you would be taxed 1.4%. In short, if you have less dependents, more the tax, more dependents, less the tax. The same example over here, if you have 4 dependents, 0.58%, and instead of 4 dependents, if I make it 1 dependent, you can see over here under PC, 1 dependent needs to pay 1.4%. As I hit the button, I get 1.35. I select this particular cell just to show the amount of decimals. It is in fact 1.350%. The next topic is HLOOKUP. HLOOKUP stands for horizontal lookup. In order for HLOOKUP to work, your data has to be in a horizontal form. For example, this particular data. Now, given the lookup value 83, I have got the value Kunal. Given the value 83, we have Kunal. For example, if I change 83 to 92, I hit the enter button, we get Payal. The data is over here. So where VLOOKUP would find the leftmost column, HLOOKUP would find in the topmost row.